So I'm here with Tuesday, and she is the love spell witch doctor. How would you define yourself, really?
High Priestess Witch.
Okay, and we're going to go over some questions that we got from our audience and whatnot, and I just want to address them with Tuesday, as me being a guy and about love and about like what a lot of people have and misconceptions of love and how to attract the guy or girl of your dreams and how to keep them in your life and stuff. So whether you're in a relationship now or you are wanting to be in a relationship, this will apply to you, right?
Yes. Well, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try to make it both. So the first question is that we get asked, where you get asked a lot, and we talked about this before, is how, this is a good premise of where to start, is how have relationships changed since, I guess, 50s or 40s or even 20s and stuff, till right now? What is the different views on relationships, how they changed, men, women, and how they viewed? Because I think this, coming from this angle, helps us kind of give the overall perspective on what a relationship really is,
Okay. Well, we can look at the divorce rate in 2013. It's very high. Back in the 20s, I don't think there was any divorce. Very little, if any. People married because that was what we taught our children back then. That's what they were taught. You grow up, you get married, you settle down, you have your own family. And this society in 2013, we don't do that. We
Right.
want our kids to grow up, go to college, get a job, get a career, earn some money, have a good time. We teach our children differently in this day and age.
So
Back
would you
then in the
consider that
50s,
a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, some people say, oh, that's good,
well,
or because before they were unhappy and they were just stuck in their little world with this one guy that they ended up not liking and stuff like that. On the
what makes you
other
think they
side,
were unhappy, Ryan? They
I'm, I'm not saying it.
happy.
I'm just saying other
Yeah,
people.
there was a lot of them that were happy. They had their children.
Right.
And,
So,
they got their married. And this is what women number one thing is right now. Want
yeah,
to be married. They need to be in a relationship. This is how
right,
they find out who they are. Nobody wants to be alone.
right,
It's
right.
nice to go home to someone, put the TV on.
Yeah, and I think people are chasing something, maybe that is an illusion. I want more. I want a different person. I want to change. This person is not for me, or I grew out of them, or something like that. Which
Yes.
is possible that somebody grew out of somebody, but for the a rate of divorce and the craziness that's happening, I think
Yes.
more times than not that
Well, here's the problem with that. We settle as women. We never really put out there in the universe or what we really, really want in a guy. Okay. And when we find somebody that's willing to marry us, we just jump on that bandwagon. We just want to get married and walk down that aisle.
right.
But that's not the correct way to do it, because you're going to have to spend the rest of your life with this guy. But that's not practiced anymore, the rest of your life. Well, if it doesn't work, you can always get a divorce. It's too easy.
Right.
Nobody wants to make anything work anymore. Everything is always broken. They don't try to stop and fix it.
I think the thing is, we're in this world of instant gratification. So you got instant gratification emails, you got instant gratification stuff online, you got instant gratification everything right now, as opposed to before. It was like, well, let's just wait it out, And I think people are used to that constant change and stimulus, and they want that in a relationship, which a relationship is like a seed. You plant it and it grows, and instead of
yes and no, because at the end of the day, women are calling me 100 times a day, and they're always wanting to be with this one guy or someone particular in their life.
mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, even though I help with all matters of life, it's always about love.
Right.
Always
Right.
about love.
Right.
So everybody's biggest problem is about love.
I gotcha.
Women and men, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying, I mean, I study psychology, and I know on the there's like a pyramid of hierarchy of needs and stuff. And one of the biggest things of everybody is not to be alone. That's it.
Yes.
Is to be loved. And whether you want money or success, or you want your PhD, or whatever status you want to put yourself on, the premise is not to be alone and be connected to someone else or
Feel
others.
needed, wanted.
Yeah.
It's a desire. Everybody has it. from a childhood, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So I got some other things. How are women and men different in relationships? You said something about, to me, they don't think about relationships in the same way. Men think in their way, and women think in their way.
Well, it's just in our genders, okay? Women are brought up to be very nurturing, take care of the family, cook, clean, or, there's a stereotype involved. Mm-hmm. Men are very different. They're brought up, go out there, be the breadwinner, be the guy, be the manly man, the Hercules. Right. And then you have where men are very analytical, mm-hmm. women are very emotional. Yeah. Too emotional to be involved. They put too much emotion into everything. Every decision is about an emotion. It could be about going to the grocery store. Well, he doesn't want to go with me to the grocery store. What do you think that means?
Well, he looked at me like this, and they analyze it.
Analyze the living hell out of everything and dissect it way too much. Where a guy doesn't really mean anything here or there about it. They just want to just relax and get on with their evening.
All right.
They dissect things. Guys maybe don't pay enough attention to their girl. Mm-hmm. And when a woman starts to go off and be dramatic, guy shuts down.
Oh yeah, it's overflow.
Just totally shuts down. Yeah. Yes.
Girls, they say in psychology, have a bigger frontal cortex than guys, which means they have a bigger span of verbal capacities. And I guess that has to do with them being in the house and doing multitasking and talking amongst themselves. Well, guys were quieter and they're like hunters and they're out there on the field where they're not a lot of this back and forth chit chat and stuff. Yes. I think that's another thing, yes. Guys don't understand about
guys
women.
Don't seem to, they shut down. They don't want to go into the emotional part of it. Guys, when they try to make a decision, they try to leave emotion completely out of it. When women make a decision, it's all about their emotions.
So how do we help people out there, girls and guys, help understand, hey, this is the best approach for a guy, for a girl and stuff. And I know
Well, that's where I help. And that's where I step in. And that's where I help you. I'm not helping you with one aspect in your life. It's not just witchcraft or the coaching, or it's a lot of common sense. We'll get down to the nitty gritty. We'll find out what's going on. What are you misinterpreting, especially with women, because they always misinterpret everything. He didn't cook the coffee this morning. What do you think that meant? I mean, they literally dissect these types of things.
It means he's cheating
on me. Well, sometimes you never know. They see a certain change, and this fear comes up, and there's this fold. They lose it, and they can't handle it.
Speaking of misinterpretations and other things, I want to dive right into these other questions, like why do guys cheat and why do girls cheat? And a lot of people ask you this question, and I want to hear what you have to say.
Guys cheat not because they want to. Generally.
They're forced?
9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100. It's not that they go out there to cheat.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, it's just too easy to cheat nowadays. Okay? And that's in this. Cheating is much more bigger rated in this day and age than it was, say, 20 years ago.
And why is that? Why is it easier now? Because girls are easier now?
Girls are a little bit more easier. They're not. They say they're not looking for a relationship, but girls are always looking for a relationship. These women nowadays want to be in a relationship.
Well, they say because they don't want to scare the guy off as well.
Yes, exactly. Because that's the way society is. 20 years. Well, let's say in the 50s, if you a guy wanted a steady sexual partner, had to get married.
Right.
In this day and age, a guy don't have to get married. He can go to 7 different bars, 7 days a week, and get a different girl.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And all he's got to do is be pleasant and nice and make her laugh a little bit. I hate to say it like that, but it's true.
Yep.
If you're charming enough, you've landed a girl.
Great. I'll tell my single guys that. You're just not charming enough.
Why, you would have to disagree with that?
No, I agree. But you see all these things that guys are going to, how to get girls, and they teach them all these little tricks and skills and lines and stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, my husband went out for Super Bowl weekend. He went with some guys to Las Vegas, and he told me there was a girl there, and they were talking with her. There was a lot of guys there at the table. Mm-hmm. There was girls there, and this one girl kept talking to him, and then at the end of the night, she wanted to go upstairs with him, and he goes, "I'm sorry, I'm married." She goes, "Well, I don't care if you don't care."
Really?
So, and he came home and told me this, and he goes, "Well, I do care." So she didn't care. She just wanted what she wanted.
Wow.
if you know what I mean. So
wow.
whose fault is it?
Yeah, I mean,
because if a girl says no, and understand this,
but you also said
no, it means no.
But you also said that they're looking for a relationship. So is she potentially looking for more from your husband, not just sex, but that's a one way to grab him?
You're in the door.
I see. Interesting.
My husband goes to Vegas looking a certain way. He doesn't go in jeans and t-shirts. He goes with the Rolex watch on. He goes with the Mercedes Benz. You know what I mean? He's an older guy.
That's funny. There's another study. I always pull these studies and stuff they took 5 or 7 guys and they took pictures of these guys and they went out in public and they said, hey, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I want you to rate him scale of 1 to 10. All the guys were average to below average. So they got scores of 3, 5s, and 4s, basically.
Okay.
And then they said, okay, now they took these pictures and under it said their income, 200,000, 1 million a year, and so on and so forth. Guess what these guys got? Higher scores by a margin of 50% higher. So we're saying 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
But there's a flip side of that one, Ryan. Okay, who wants to marry a guy that doesn't have a job or that is suffering? Because let me tell you something, it's not just women that take advantage of guys and their finances.
Yeah.
Guys do it too.
Yeah,
and I have come across with that a lot.
Yeah.
They take full advantage.
So what was the bottom line of guys cheating then? What was your answer on that?
Okay, my answer on that is because it's very simple too. It's very easy. It's offered. Women throw themselves at them the majority of the time when a married guy is cheating. And it's not that it means anything. Sex does not mean anything for guys.
Yes. Girls don't get that. Girls don't get that.
No, they don't get it.
Yeah.
The husband or boyfriend could say, honey, it didn't mean anything. And they're telling the 110% truth. But if a woman cheats, let me just tell you something. She's not cheating on you to have sex. She's cheating on you to mess you up. And she's out to leave the relationship, walk away, and never look back.
Yeah.
Because a woman doesn't cheat because of sex. She doesn't cheat for the sex. She cheats to get out. If you know what I mean.
And it's an easy
she's
way
out for the ultimate. She's out for the revenge. She's out for the ticket out, the excuse, for whatever reason she has in her mind. But she's emotionally damaged.
Right.
She's extremely hurt.
Right.
Extremely. And she's looking to make more damage. She's looking to hurt because that's what she feels.
Well, because I've seen, when I was younger, I've seen girls who cheat on guys, and I asked them, why did you do it? And they were like, just the guy was better, he was a better fit for me. And they said that too. I think, well, why didn't she leave?
Well, when you mean younger, okay, let's define
right?
That.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
There you go.
That is a difference.
Because I was younger at that time, and I was asking these girls. I was like, "Well, why?"
Yeah.
I'm a really curious person. That's why I do interviews and stuff. So obviously,
I think we're going to let the younger go because when you're growing up, you make mistakes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and so so that makes sense. So then another question is, so we're kind of just moving on down from why they cheat and stuff. Why doesn't he like me?
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, because sometimes it's not all about that. It can get more deeper, but that's just the general point of it. Sex is for a guy that it's a one-time thing. It's not a relationship.
Yeah, yeah. And girls have to understand that's that, but that's no excuse for any.
It happens. It's not that, it's not an excuse, but it happens.
Right.
It does happen. And to turn the blind eye once in a while, if you're in a great relationship, hey, forgive and forget.
Right.
People make mistakes all the time.
So, another question is, why doesn't he want me sexually anymore?
Now that you can go into a lot of different scenarios here. Okay, one, it could be physical. It could be something with their health. Number two, it could be stress related.
Whoa. So this is from a girl's perspective asking this question. She's like, why doesn't he sleep with me? And you're saying that the guy could have some kind of physical problem.
Meaning maybe, it could be something with their health. It could be a prostate problem. It could be something a doctor needs to address and take care of. Could be. Okay.
So,
yes. And
ruling
that's
that out.
one option.
What other options?
Yeah. Okay. Other options. Stress. Usually when guys are stressed out, they shut down.
That is true. I'm a guy. And
yes,
that's true.
They shut down. And sex is 99%, what is it? 80%, 90% mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not there mentally, you're not going to get there at all.
Right.
And that's another problem.
Okay.
Third problem, they're cheating on you.
Right.
And they've fallen for this other girl because, or else they would still be having sex with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fourth problem, it's a culture difference.
Mm-hmm.
There's a culture difference, and they're starting to feel guilty about their culture, and they've probably been in a relationship with you for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and need to kind of like distance themselves from that because they're starting to follow maybe too hard, or they don't want this to go anywhere where it shouldn't.
Right.
And they kind of stop themselves.
That's a good point. I think
amongst other reasons that I've come across.
Right. I think people forget about that. Let's say you're looking for a relationship right now, and you talked about getting really clear on before you even look for a relationship, of knowing what you want and what you don't want before you actually go out and get a relationship, because you're going to end up getting really bad guys because you're desperate or whatever. And to me, that's why I talk to you about this. It's like almost like magnetic force. Once you get clear on what you want, it kind of draws it in. Is that true?
You draw it in. Yes, you do. You draw it in like a magnet. And you have to be very specific. Be down to the specific point. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What do you want? What are you looking for? How do you want this relationship to be?
In every aspect.
You? In every aspect. So you need to find out who you are. What is it that you like and what is it that you don't like? But that's how you find out who you are, is finding out what you don't like.
Right.
Because not a lot of the times, even now, I still don't even know what I like.
Well,
and how I figured that out.
How do you get to know that? Do you close your eyes and go, well, what would it be if...
It's days. It's not something that happens in a minute, of course. It's something that you need to study about yourself. You need to ask yourself, okay, this doesn't feel good. Why doesn't this feel good? I must not like it.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Right.
Or someone treating you a certain way, or going someplace, or maybe someone doesn't listen to you. What bugs? Ask the question, but ask yourself, what is it that's bugging you about it? What is it that makes you feel uncomfortable? What makes you feel unhappy about that situation? And then figure out, okay, if I can have a chance to change it, what would that be?
So once you know what you don't like, what you do like, it's more likely that you will attract that person to you.
Put it down, make it specific.
Yeah.
Their hair color, who they are, what kind of work, how much money do you want them to make, where you want to travel, if that's important, children, if that's important, what values you want them to be and have.
Right. For those who are in a relationship, and they've been in a relationship for guys for like 7, 10, 20, 40 years, why hasn't he popped the question? Is a lot of girls asking this question, and they even ask me just randomly and stuff. But let's ask you, why haven't these guys popped the question?
Because these girls don't require them to. In other words, they're not asking of it. They're just putting up with everything because they're so scared that they're going to lose the guy that they don't ask or put that pressure or say, this is what I need.
Does it mean he doesn't want to get married?
They're afraid of the answer. And yes, that could be the answer. But if that is the answer, why are you wasting your time?
So should you give the guy an ultimatum?
Not an ultimatum. This is who I am. This is what I need in order for this to work. And if this doesn't work for you, then you need to let me know so I can move on.
Well,
because the longer you sit that didn't.
What I mean by an ultimatum is like, look, you got a deadline, and if you can't decide by this, I'm out of here.
Well, I mean, that's kind of harsh, wouldn't you say?
I would say, but
yeah,
this is what girls do sometimes. But they're also scared.
Well, that's the wrong way to do it. Okay, you shouldn't come off so hard. Yeah. Okay, that's very harsh. Right. You shouldn't do it that way. It should be discussed. It should be, listen, I am so-and-so certain age, and I want to have a family, and I want to get married, and this is what I need, and this is who I am. And I know maybe, Ryan, this is not what you like and want, but this is who I am. And if you want me to stick around, then you're going to have to do some thinking, because I need this relationship to go to the next level.
So what some guys will do is like, yeah, I've heard of this before. You're crying wolf.
And if that's you have to put your money where your mouth is. You got to follow through.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is the truth. That is the truth. You have to follow through. And if you don't follow through, nobody's going to take you seriously. Right.
And then some guys are just scared. They're just saying, look, once I put this ring on the finger, is she going to change?
They're terrified of this. And that girl's going to change.
What other responsibilities now do I have? And is she, you got to do lockdown,
Well, these are fears. Again, those are negative feelings. Those are negative emotions that you're putting out into the universe. But these are also things that you can address and talk about if this is a fear.
Right.
Talking about it and asking the question might clarify what the answer is.
Right.
You might find out what you're scared of doesn't really exist.
Right. It's true. Another question is, why isn't he sleeping with me anymore? And it's not because you're fat. There's other reasons. Why is that?
We go through roller coaster rides in our relationship. Mm-hmm. There's times where it's really hot and heavy, and there's times where there's just really dull and boring.
Right.
You're going to go through the hills and valleys. It's not always going to be peaches and cream and the honeymoon 24/7. 365 days. That's just ridiculous. Cinderella does not exist. That is a fairy tale. No, it's a fairy tale. And if you want to spice it up, there's ways to spice it up with spells and Victoria's Secrets. Let me tell you, we can do some real good spicing up, but you're going to go through the hills and valleys. Try.
Right.
You have to put an effort. Don't be so tired. Don't walk around with just jeans and a t-shirt and messed up hair. Put a little makeup on.
You got to keep things new, keep it fresh.
Keep it new, keep it fresh, keep it upgoing. Nobody wants to be with a Debbie Downer, someone that's constantly yelling and screaming and bitching and moaning and groaning. We want to have fun when we go out. We want to have someone that we can enjoy ourselves with, not with somebody that's always miserable, always unhappy, always angry about something. Right. That's a major downer. Yeah. And then, you can mess with someone's libido that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So any other questions you get besides the one that I asked? But
any more? Well, gosh, I get so many questions. That would be a hard one. Any more questions? I guess about the Cinderella story. Everybody always looking for the fairy tale.
But that's the thing. I see girls, and when I was like 20 years old, I used to work at a preschool, and all the books and stuff was geared towards the girls. Was Cinderella. And it was about a guy sweeping her off her feet, the girl having to do her part by, looking pretty and whatever else.
Knight in shining armor.
And girls are prepped for this, like at a very, very early age. And I don't think guys or girls realize this. Guys are not prepped for this. Guys, don't sit around and go, I wonder how she's going to analyze this. I don't go to my guy friends and say, dude, I really wonder. She said this and blah, blah, blah. Did she mean it this way? And let's analyze this. And we have a whole group session and everybody holds hands and sings Kumbaya and stuff. Guys do not do that, period. No. Girls have a bigger capacity for analyzations in that scale. They take it too far.
They'll talk about it with their mother, their cousin, their best friend, their coworker.
They'll Google it, they'll tweet it, they'll put it on their blog post, and they'll get feedback, and they'll have it broken and analyzed. And then by the time the guy comes, he didn't mean anything by it. He has this whole thing, and she opens her PowerPoint presentations and her graphs. See, you said it on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday you say this, and that means that Fridays you go out with your friends, you're probably cheating on me,
I'm cracking up because that's always the scenario. They dissect it and make something that it really isn't.
Right.
They always do this, and they always see something that's not really there.
Yeah.
Which is sad because it doesn't really need to be this way.
Right.
If you ask a guy a question, he will answer it. And if he doesn't know how to answer it, he'll tell you he doesn't know.
But the problem is, they'll say, what do you mean by that? What do you mean no? Wait, you said no in a weird way. You didn't say no. You said no.
Well, and that's what I'm here to try to explain. Stop over dissecting it. Stop being so emotional. Guys are not like this. And this is the reason why guys have a problem nowadays of committing. Because they're terrified of it, okay? On the flip side of that, too, guys, they also could take advantage of girls. They drag out these long live-together relationships. All of a sudden, they don't want to get married. And then they dump the girl and then marry the next girl that came along. So where's the happy ending for the one that spent 7 years cooking and cleaning and taking care of this guy and being with him? And then all of a sudden, they're out left in the cold and wasted 7 years of their life.
Yep.
Guys need to stop that too. But with that being said, this is what I'm here for. I can help you dissect through that, the truths.
Right.
Because that's what these girls need. That's what some of these guys need.
Do you mind if I put your link below on this video?
Not at all.
All right,
absolutely.
Cool. And I think you do like 15-minute consultations for how much?
15-minute consultation for $5.
$5. That's pretty good. I mean, if it doesn't work out within 15 minutes, then leave her. But I'm pretty sure that, working with you and stuff like that, we had pretty good success. So I thank you for all your time. And if you guys are interested, give her a call, schedule an appointment, and she would love to help you.
Yes, this was fun.
All right. I'll talk to you shortly. Thanks, Tuesday.